Hi everyone, this is Adam Lavell, and today we're going to be doing some editing. This is KatKat, a very dear friend of mine who I absolutely adore, and I invited her to my studio and took a picture with her on a green screen. I mentioned before that to create the green screen, all it is just a prim wall set to the light green and at full bright. The image was taken at 5000 by 2000, something along those lines, and it was taken in ultra settings. The win light was NAM optimal skin and prim, and the anti-aliasing was at 16%, 16 times smoothest. So I want to go through the process, and what I'm going to probably do is split this video into parts. So for example, the first part would be get rid of the green, so that'll be part 1. Part 2 will be using the curve adjustment tool. Part 3 maybe create the shadow and shading in certain areas, and so on. Another part will be what I do with the background. So it'll be the entire process, but split into various different parts, so that you can watch what ones you are most interested in, and hopefully not take up too much of your time watching a really long video. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing that I do when I have an image is I just go through the actual image. I zoom in and just to see if there's any areas that might need some adjustments. Sometimes I find like certain areas might need a little touch before I get rid of the green. So for example, here I'll use the liquify tool, and I did notice that some of these hair strands are a bit jaggedy, so I'm going to use a liquify tool just to kind of like make it a bit smoother. I mean, you can probably tell that I do go into quite a bit of detail on these kind of things, and to be honest, you probably wouldn't even notice it if I did nothing to it and just left it as it was. But it's one of the benefits of being OCD. You pay attention to all the details, because I can tell you, when it comes to posting the image, will be these little things here that will be drawing my attention, and I'll be thinking, oh, why not just not clean it up before? So that's what I'm going to do now, just go around and just smooth in some of the edges. Sometimes it could be the reason why you have such jaggedy lines could be how you've taken the image. It could be that my settings wasn't as high. It could be the angle I've taken the shot, because some of these hairs, they're amazing to look at, like in mold, they're just gorgeous. Got to give credit to so many of the creators in SL. The things that they produce really makes you think, and sometimes I kind of feel that with my pictures, I want to be able to do justice to the creations that people spend their time and effort putting together for us to enjoy. Okay, I probably really don't need to do this level of detail because I'm very likely to feather out the edges, so I think I'll stop. But let me just check the eyes. Sometimes I find that there are creases that might need a bit of liquefying, but again, honestly, that I barely did anything. Again, testament to the creator of this particular head, the skin, the eyes. I mean, it just looks so good, and plus, you know, KatKat's got amazing taste. I love this hair, and I love the detail, which makes it's going to make it a lot of fun to edit. Okay, so that's the liquefy part done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the green. So if you saw my previous video, it's using the background eraser tool, sampling once. So basically it samples the colour you want to remove. This contiguous, I'm not sure exactly what it does, but all I know is that it just makes sure it takes all the green. The tolerance is set at 100%. I might need to adjust it depending on how it works. So let's try it. So I'll press down on my mouse and start drawing, keeping my finger on it, and you can see it's taken away the green. That's it, all done. I can see straight away, without having to put down a layer behind it, that there is some remnants of green, but that's okay, because if you saw the last video, we can get rid of that too. So let me put a dark layer so we can see that better. So there, yeah, it's quite prominent. So we put a layer above Cat, we clip it, we change the blending mode to hue, we select a paintbrush, and make sure the opacity is all the way up to 100. I choose a dark part of her hair, maybe there, and then I'll just go and start painting over all the areas where there was some green. I said in the last video that sometimes this method does make the hair colour like a bit lighter. It's not an exact colour to what the hair is, but it's lighter strands of the hair, and naturally where you have lesser strands, the lighter the hair becomes, because there's not so many together building that colour. So yeah, I think that's looking good. Okay, I'll go over it just to make sure I don't miss any bits. Okay, so that's that part done. Green screen removed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this part of the video here, showing you how to get rid of the green. So just to summarise, I used the black background eraser tool. Sometimes it shows as a eraser, but if you right click on the eraser tool, you'll get the additional options, which is the background eraser tool, magic eraser tool. So you choose your background eraser tool, sample once, this contiguous, tolerance level 100. But for some, if there's some elements of green in the hair colour, then you might need to reduce the tolerance, otherwise it will start taking away the hair. But for this particular example, keeping it at 100% is completely fine. And then once I did that, I clipped a layer, selected blending mode, hue with the paintbrush, and then just painted over all the areas of the green that was left in the hair on the sides. and that's that part done. Okay, see you on the next part, where what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to create shadows. So I'm going to create shadows underneath the chin here, and maybe a shadow here. So yeah, that's what the next part will be. See you then. Bye.